All right, guys. Apparently, something ate my microphone audio on the original Yule episode 42, part 2, the solo strategy missions against some council. So here he is. I'm back. Hopefully, you can hear it this time. And I'm just going to run my standard 52 times 6, 53 times 8. Try to bang these out real quick. If you've watched his already posted videos, he is Ice Arbor. He is staff fighting and Arctic mastery. He's got some pretty solid defenses, as you can see up here on my display. And then he's going to be also using some slowing from Chilling Embrace. One thing I neglected to mention as far as mitigation goes, it does have the minus speed and recharge, but it also does some minus damage. So not only is it going to slow attacks that are coming in, but it's also going to decrease the damage that you're going to take by 14%, which, not bad. That's essentially a 14% damage resistance across the board. So you take whatever damage resistance that I was shown in his mids build, add 14%, at least to the things that are in melee that are affected by the Chill Embrace. So that's pretty solid, right? I mean, add that with all his different defenses, and just the minus recharge. He's got a lot of survivability. All right, I'm going to go ahead and just light this up. I mean, he doesn't have much as far as openers other than Ice Storm around a corner. I could do that. I could Cryonic, just Cone Blast. Or I can taunt and pull things towards me. Duck out of sight, break line of sight, let's say. Just depends on the situation. Right here, I see 4 guys. I know there's probably about another 8 or so behind them, hiding around the corner. So I could just, stack them up here in the doorway. But I think what I might actually do is taunt and pull them to me, just to sort of show how you can use that. I was doing that a bit with the team missions, if you've taken a look at part 3. So let me try and taunt. See if I can get them to come, not just these 4, but the rest of their party. Kind of just gather them together. So I like to open with guarded spin because it does boost my defense a little bit. Saw an Archon poke his head out, so I might as well smack him. I also want stuff to get in close because I've got damage procs, 4 of them in Icicles. Icicles is your aura damage taunt. You'll see with staff fighting that my powers will light up with a gold ring. That's once you've achieved 3 stacks of your form mastery that you've chosen. I've got body. So that is going to allow me, when I have it charged up, to either click Eye of the Storm or click Sky Splitter. Eye of the Storm is your PB AoE, spin around, hit everything around you, and it will debuff damage resistance if that is lit up. Or you can Sky Splitter, that's your big smashing damage single target attack that knocks the thing up in the air, potentially stunning it, and does some extra damage on top of that. So let's see. Go ahead and click my Ageless just to get my recharge numbers looking really pretty. This I can just open up with my attack. I also want to go ahead and hit energy absorption to begin lowering the enemy's endurance, because I can click that twice, pretty much suck them dry, and they're not going to have any endurance to attack me. Not that it's necessary. It's nice. So that's my icicle damage going off. I'm just standing next to these guys. You can see they're ticking 14 plus the occasional damage proc. Go ahead and energy absorption. I have a damage proc in that as well. There's your Hoarfrost that boosts your hit points. Gives you a heal. And some toxic resistance. So I'll get right there in melee. So I usually like to do energy absorption, guarded spin, ice storm, and just drop the pain on stuff while it is being slowed, debuffed by Chilling Embrace. Then icicles is just gonna start stabbing at whatever's next to me. So here's the other strategy you can do when you're in one of these little skinny doorways, aside from taunting them through like I did in the first group. Stand here in the doorway. Now if I'm on a team, I may or may not do this, because if I'm sitting here blocking up the door, then nobody else can get through. So I usually tend to try to draw them out so everybody just plug them as they're coming through that little doorway, rather than sticking my fat butt in there, blocking it. See, I'm able to drain about 80% of a target's endurance with a single click of moisture absorption. And it gives me back about 2/3 if I hit a single target. Hey guys. I got another group behind me, so what I want to do is try to get them all together. So I'll come up here to try to break line of sight a little bit. Didn't hit the galaxy. There we go. Took all of the rest of his endurance. So you can see he's got pretty much no endurance. His recharge is debuffed to hell. He's able to, you know, kick every now and then. Then I've got defense, I've got damage resistance, so he'll probably miss, and if he does hit, it'll be for reduced damage. And if he really hits me, I still have my heal with Hoarfrost. I gotta change the color of these so that they're bluish like the rest of my stuff. I can just pretty much stand here and kill these guys that barely need to attack. See the movement speed debuff on him. It helps make you know, hurrying up a little bit. Well, it depends on how you're doing it. Could make it easier because that guy, he's taunted, he's slowed, he's going to try to follow me and take a long time getting after me, but he's not going to be attacking my allies. In the meantime, I can move over here and start messing with another group. So it's beneficial like that. However, if you're trying to quickly herd and get a bunch of guys together and you're slowing stuff down, well then that's going to cause scatter and spread of the groups. So you're better, if you're trying to herd, you'd be better off trying to do some taunting from range. Kind of show you what I'm talking about. So I come here, get these guys' attention. Then I see another group over here. Let me go ahead and taunt them from range. Duck out of sight. I've got these guys slowed, so I'm going to kind of move back over here. Break some more line of sight. Stupid galaxies are hanging out back there. I hate that they hide. Give them something to think about. guys from the hallway, which didn't count as part of the mission requirements. When you have these defeat boss or steal whatever, it's just what's in that room that counts to clear. You don't have to clear anything else. So these guys were not technically in this room that I was in. So if the boss is in this room, I gotta clear everything in the room. Everything outside of it, that's just gravy. All right, I'm gonna end this. There's no point in attacking those guys. They're not gonna put up much of a fight. All right, let me go ahead and get this next one ready. I'm gonna pause so I can go talk to Wiggy. Be right back. All right, I'm back. I've got it bumped up to 53 times 8. Council again. It's gonna do what I was showing you before. What strategies, what tactics do you have with ice armor, with staff, and the Arctic? Now I do have stealth, so I know a lot of people go, oh my god, stealth on a tank, that's crazy. But you can see why it's beneficial. I can size up the room, see what's going on. Especially as tank, right? You know the rest of the guys behind you are like, oh, I gotta wait for you type of thing. At least a lot of them are doing that. If they're just charging ahead, well, that's their problem. But anyway, so they're waiting for you to make a decision. So if I didn't have stealth, I walked around the corner, this guy be attacking me immediately. My, allies behind me be getting blasted from the shrapnel. So this gives me a second to, see what's going on. If I don't want to be stealth, I just shut off spring. Okay, it's that simple. Now what I am going to do is kind of my tactic I would use in a team. So I know if I'm on a team, all my allies and buddies are sitting right here, and they might be getting shot immediately if they don't have stealth. These guys are going to see them. So what I like to do, especially because there's also all these range guys back here, is I'm going to go over these guys. I'm going to dive, jump right over the top, and taunt these guys as I leap over them. They're all going to turn and fire towards me. That's going to put me in between these two separated groups here, so I can kind of start pulling everybody into one central location between the two. Okay, so I want to turn the enemy away from my team, because otherwise, if I stand here and taunt, or just stand here in front of them and start attacking, all this fire is going to start coming in this direction. And who's behind me? All my little squishy teammates. So do your squishies a favor and turn the mobs away from them. You do this. So they're all facing me. Got an Archon back there. Taunt his ass. Now at this point, my allies are engaged. They're probably killing this Archon for me. I've got 90% of the attention on me, which is what you want. I'm keeping my eye. That's the other reason why I will taunt away, is then I can turn. When my camera turns, I'm seeing my teammates behind me. Because, again, as tank, you're usually out front. Because I'm out front, if I'm turning the other way, I don't know what's happening with my friends behind me. They could be getting their butts handed to them by something that didn't get caught by my taunting or whatever. So I'm facing this way. I got all the enemies. I see my allies. Somebody gets in trouble, I can range taunt something off of them, or I can throw some of my AoE or whatever. Just dive in there and start smacking them. Using my aura to keep the guys busy that are behind me. Again, I'm moving out this way, right? I'm bringing stuff this way. Maybe I'm ducked behind here. Draw everything in. They all want a piece of me. So I'm doing a ton of damage without even swinging, because I have Icicles is slotted for procs and damage. I've got Chilling Embrace is slotted for damage, I think. And so is my Taunt. And so is Energy Absorption. This guy is annoying, right? He's just going to stand up there. There we go. Just because I hate when galaxies do this nickel and dime crap from mid-range, I'm gonna go take him out first. Alright, he's done. So just refresher on my icicle slotting. Okay, it's right here. I've got it 6 slotted. I've got 3 Shirokos in there, which is giving me some regen and some energy negative damage resistance. But I have the chance for lethal, so that's 1 damage proc. The other 2 things, Acdam End and Acdam, I need accuracy to hit. Then, yeah, I've got obliteration chance for smashing. There's another proc. I've got eradication chance for energy. There's another proc, and then I've got Armageddon chance for fire. So I've got 4 damage procs in this power. That makes it, you know, really strong. Plus, it's doing its own little damage. And then don't forget, interface is going to be kicking with the generative. It's going to throw in some toxic damage on top of everything else. Energy absorption, I've got 4 of the performance shifters in there to give me some more recovery, some movement speed, max health, some basic stuff like that. A lot of recharge. I went with the performance shifter set. And then I threw in the Perfect Zinger because energy absorption has taunt. Perfect Zinger is a taunt set, but it's a damage proc. So whenever I click this, I can blast everybody with some psi damage. Right? Easy enough. Taunt, same thing. It's an auto hit, whatever, but it can do some psi damage with Perfect Zinger. I mean, there's a lot of powers that you have as a tanker that will do taunting. So don't forget that, because you can always slot some multiples of these damage proc Perfect Zingers in your build. And then what else? I got energy absorptions damage. I've got icicles is doing some damage procs. Taunts doing some damage procs. Chilling Embrace, I've got the impeded swiftness chance for smashing in there. I've got the pacing of the turtle chance for recharge. So I talked about that during the build. So just kind of standing next thing, Chilling Embrace, energy absorption, icicles, and taunting. I'm just doing damage by virtue of being near people. I haven't moved my staff at all. I got a couple of groups. That's something I'd shown in the previous vid that got a little bit muted. So what I can do is mess with these guys to get their attention, right? All right, that should bring them. And then I'm going to come over here. See if I can get several. There we go. Come on, boys. All right. Just going to grab a few guys. Now the guys that I blasted earlier should keep trickling in because I aggro them, and right now I'm just at my aggro cap. So as I start defeating and killing these guys, I should start getting more of them showing up. I think only maybe half of them showed up. Let me see who's left over here. I'm going to taunt these guys. See how some of these guys just kind of stay at range? I hate that, so what I'll do is I've got their attention. I'll just come back this way. But remember what I said about the slowing of Chilling Embrace, so it makes it a little bit harder to herd if you're going to use this kind of method, the pulling method. Now everybody was clustered. All right. Let's see what else we've got. That war wuss to show up. Come on. Let's get him. Get them to clump up. There we go. One thing that is annoying as a tank is when you are trying to do something like clustering and herding, not like herding old school style, bringing a whole map, but just kind of what I did there. Just trying to grab some guys and move them into a consolidated position is on a team. A lot of times, you know, I don't know, people just have not played tanks before or seen it work, but they interfere with that. Now, I'm not going to say, hey, it's the tank's way or the highway. But it's just simple stuff like that that if you're aware of what tanks are able to do or what they usually will do, you hang back for a second, pause slow your roll for 5 seconds and see what that tank's doing. If they're just diving in there, standing in the middle, okay, fine, then go in there. But if they're doing like what I was just showing you, they're about to back off, pull some stuff because they're trying to just bring everything together. They can survive all these alpha hits. So give them a chance. Again, so I am stealth because I want to look. Look, I got a group here. I got a group in the middle. I got a group over here. So I'm going to try to consolidate this as much as possible. And one of the reasons to do that is not necessarily because, you want to flex your E-ping and, I can round up all these groups. But here's what normally will happen on a team, right? I'll go in here, start rounding some stuff up and, keeping things in the middle. But some blaster is going to throw a stray fireball over here, or some mastermind pet's going to go running over here, or some, dominator pet. Something's going to aggro this crap, and then they're all going to come charging in, and then they're going to start blasting your squishy defender, corruptor, or whatever that's hanging in the back here. Meanwhile, you're up here fighting all this stuff. So, rather than that happening, I'm just going to draw them both together and make it happen. And hopefully, if my teammates are paying attention because they're hanging back, give me that 5 seconds, they'll be right about here watching me get this group and this group together. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use this barricade here to get probably this group to want to come around and get me while this group is right here looking at me. So what I'll do is probably head over here. My aura and just my presence will start taunting these guys and pulling them closer. And I'm going to just pop up and start throwing taunts and crap over the boxes. Just bring it all together. And then hopefully my teammates are watching, paying attention, and being patient for 5 seconds. And then they just drop the pain right about where that yellow paint line is. All right, let me go ahead and get this beefed up. Get a little bit of extra stuff going. I'm going to do this. Get their attention. Okay. All right. Pop up. Hey, look, see, everybody's pretty much here, but notice that a couple guys want to go wide. So my teammates are hopefully just unleashing hell at this point. Okay, I still have most of the attention of the bad guys. I'm gonna bring some more over here. So whenever I'm playing with a tank, I try to be more patient than usual. Depending on what I'm playing, but yeah, I want to see what they're going to do. They're going to start leading the charge? Great. I'll give them that few seconds they want. Now, the other thing about tanks that you won't see me do is attempt to be what I call the tip of the spear. Now, that might sound contrary to what a tank should do. Like, hey, they should be charging in, right? Yes, but don't just keep driving the spear, driving and driving and driving without actually finishing off the group. I just brought two groups together, right? The boss left here. And if all I do is, okay, I got those two groups and I killed a bunch of guys, then I go charge into the third group, the fourth group, and I'm just this spear driving through. Meanwhile, there's all this just, leftovers behind me. If it's something dangerous, like let's say that Eclipse Werewolf, I go to the next group, I'm gonna drop aggro on that guy because I'm gonna hit my new, taunt cap over here. That werewolf's no longer following me. He's gonna start attacking because my allies have probably been attacking him and drawing his ire. So don't be the tip of the spear, just keep going. I'm gonna go over here. I'm gonna get the freaking attention. Yeah, I don't need to be all flexing the E-peen and like, oh, let me go and, oh, I got this group. Let me jump up here and run this way now, right? Now, maybe if I'm just soloing, that works, no problem. But if I have a team, I'm not going to do it. Because I forget what the aggro cap is on tanks. Like, what, 10 guys or something? No, I definitely had more than that. I don't know if I want to taunt that guy yet. I was trying to take a look, see if he was in range. All right, done. Click this. There's one more group up top. So yeah, the the E-peen tip of the spear type of tanks, they would have just charged into one group after another, leaving a bunch of stretched out groups behind them, assuming everything was following. And meanwhile, their teammates are getting murdered. So I try to be a more conscientious tank. Said I'm keeping my eyes where my allies are, so if they get in trouble, I can see what's happening. And that's it. All done. All right, so I've already done my other videos, the build and the team. The team was probably the worst team experience that I've had in a long time. It was bad. And the one that I posted was the good one. I had shot 32 minutes prior to that, and oh my god, I had to pretty much rage quit at that point. They were bad. It was like the worst, softest, not know what the hell to do team I've ever played with in a long time. All right, hopefully this was useful information on ice armor, staff mastery, and Arctic mastery. Sorry, staff fighting, Arctic mastery as a tank. The do's, the don'ts, that sort of stuff. All right, I'm going to be moving on to my third tank, which will be a surprise, so no spoilers. Catch you later with episode 43.